Hello and welcome to Kepster ADV, the channel dedicated to riding, adventure, and life's journey, which is always best made on a motorcycle. My name is Kep, and today I'm coming to you from Two Guns, Arizona. It's a place with a really interesting backstory. I'm going to share a little bit of the story about you, but most interestingly, it's the home of the Apache Death Cave, and we're going to take a look inside there too. So, it's a bitterly cold morning out. I don't know if you can tell by the way I sound, but my face is so cold I can barely talk, and my hand is so cold I can barely hold the camera still and push the buttons, and I had to pull the batteries out of my GoPro to switch them with my teeth. So let's take a look around, and I'm looking forward to telling you this story. Well, back before this area was settled by the white man, this was Indian country. And the area we're in now is inhabited by Apache and Navajo Indians. And I'm sure that there's a long history of raids and skirmishes between the two tribes, but we're going to focus on one in particular today. This one happened in a night back in 1878 when a small group of Apache warriors raided a Navajo village nearby this area. They took all their goods, their food, and their animals, and they killed all of the Navajo except for 3 young girls that they also took with them. Well, the word of this raid spread pretty quickly, and of the murder of the other Navajos, and the Navajos were enraged. And they sent out a search party to try to find these Apache Indians. In this area, if you look around, it's a lot of rock and some volcanic sand, and it's not really the best area to be able to track someone easily as far as leaving footprints and what have you, but they were able to trace them for a little while, and then the trail went cold. And it seemed like they would never find these Apaches. And these Apaches had raided and been able to hide before also. Well, one of the Navajos right in this area noticed some warm air and some smoke coming up from a hole in the ground. They listened and they could hear people down in there. And they realized that there was an underground cave here that they were hiding in. Well, the Navajo search party ran back and told the chief, who sent out a group of 25 warriors to avenge the death of the village of the Navajos. The 25 warriors came out and they were able to find the opening to that cave. And there was 2 Apache watchmen there that they killed instantly. They gathered up a lot of brush and whatever driftwood they could from the bottom of the canyon, which is right nearby here, and they built a fire at the opening to the cave. Shortly thereafter, the smoke started billowing into the cave, and the Apaches began to panic. Several of them were trying to escape, and the Navajo shot into the opening of the cave to prevent anyone from escaping. They stoked up the fire more and more smoke billowed into the cave, and that's when one Apache was able to get out. And he came and tried to negotiate with the Navajos. Now, in the past, there was a history of the two negotiating to avoid bloodshed. This would often, be an exchange of goods, food, animals, or what have you, previous crimes would be forgiven and a war would be averted. So the Apache came out to negotiate with the Navajo, and they seemed like they might be willing to negotiate, but they first wanted the 3 young girls returned to them. When the Navajo hesitated and everyone kind of realized that these girls had actually been tortured and killed, all bets were off. So the Navajo killed this Apache, and they continued to stoke the fire in front of the entrance of the cave. The smoke continued to fill the cave, and there was 42 Apaches and their horses in this cave, so it was a pretty big cave. Well, the Apaches inside the cave slit the throats of their horses and killed them. And they took some of their blood and whatever water they had, and they tried to throw it on the fire to extinguish it, and they weren't able to do so. Then they took the corpses of the horses and they tried to stack these horse corpses in the entrance to block any smoke from coming in. And again, that was not successful either. Well, the Navajo kept watch over the fire, they kept it stoked, and finally they started hearing the death songs of the Apache happening within the cave, and they knew that the end was near. So after some period of time, the songs ended and there was nothing but quiet inside the cave. So the Navajo left and they never came back again. But before they left, they hacked their way through the barbecued carcasses of the horse and took a look in the cave, and that's when they found the 42 dead Apache inside the cave. Now, there's a legend that there's a curse that goes along with this, and that this area is cursed. And when I tell you a little bit more about the town and what happened here later, you might see that maybe there was a curse. But first, we're going to go take a look inside the cave. Now this is standing up on top of some of this area around the cave. And this could have actually been an area where some of the smoke was coming up. But we're going to head down. There's a little walkway that was made by people after the fact to enter the cave. And it's a little bit treacherous. Okay, so this is a little walkway leading down into the cave. And as you can see, there's a large section of the bridge missing. So I'm going to stay to the right. Now, there's a split in the cave here. This area we're in right now is the area we were looking down on from up above. There's some candles burning in here, and I haven't seen anybody else, so I don't know who left those. Creepy in here. And if it wasn't for the fact that these candles are such modern, common lantern candles, I might be a little freaked out by that. There's another room with some more candles burning. So there must have been somebody here before me. Oops. I have a light on my head. So as you can see, it's quite big in here. And it gets pretty narrow in here, and I'm wearing all my winter motorcycle gear, and I got my pockets filled with lights and cameras, and well, we're going to see if I can make it. I'm not going to be able to make it with all the gear I'm wearing, but I'll take some of it off and we'll try it again. Stay away from that crack. Looks like rocks could come falling through there at any moment. Jack and see if I can squeeze through that narrow opening. Let's go take a look. It is cold down here, but it is not as cold as it is outside. More candles that must have been left by someone who came before me. And I think this is the end of the road for me, guys, because I am definitely not skinny enough to go through there. That's about a foot wide. I was going to sit here for a minute and take a moment to reflect on what it must have been like for those Apaches being in here with the smoke billowing in. Not sure exactly which part of the cave they were in when they met their end, or exactly where they would have been able to bring in their horses, because horses would not have been too happy in the room we're in now. And they definitely wouldn't have been able to get them in through the narrow passage I just came through. That's very interesting. Very quiet, kind of creepy. Well, let's continue. We're back in the larger room now, and I definitely could see that in this room there would have been the possibility for horses to be able to stand and feel fairly calm. There's a lot of rocks on the floor of this place, which I'm guessing probably fell from above. Huh, isn't that interesting? I'm guessing that wasn't painted by the Indians. but I don't know. Now, there's a wall built here, obviously not natural, and it leads into another little chamber that's actually fairly small. I don't know why it's walled off. That looks like a pretty small area down there as well. You can see has some pretty precarious rocks up there. I'm not going to stand here too long. Thank you for watching part 1 of my series about the Two Guns, Arizona and the Apache Death Cave. In part 2, we'll focus on the history of Two Guns and the people involved who are the reason that the history of the Apache Death Cave wasn't lost forever. If you enjoyed my video, please click the like button. This helps my videos to be picked up by the YouTube algorithm and shown to more viewers. If you enjoy this type of content, please subscribe to my channel. And if you have any ideas of some interesting places I should go check out, tell me about them in the comments section. I do my best to respond to all my comments.